他の道を考えたことがないと言った方がいいだろうな。
Dining area. On a clear winter workday morning, Artem always wakes up before you, giving him plenty of time to prepare breakfast. You've both been busy with your own work lately, and you hardly ever get to eat together, so you really value the time you spend together before heading out. After washing up, you go to the dining room. The aroma of food wafting through the air makes your mouth water.
もう少しでできるから待っていてくれ。
Artem turns to look at you, the hair across his forehead dancing with warm radiance in the morning sunlight. You walk around the kitchen counter and can't help but wrap your arms around his neck. He closes the cabinet door and gently holds onto you.
どうした？
He asks in a soft voice, so close that it feels intimate. Nothing, I just wanted to give you a good morning hug.
そうか。
He responds as he lowers his head and pulls you tightly. His light breath tickles your hair, bringing you a sense of peace. It's time for breakfast. Let me help you with plaiting.
ありがとう。
Artem releases you and turns his gaze back to the freshly made sandwich. After breakfast, you initially wanted to spend the last bit of time you have together cleaning. However, you receive a message saying that the prosecutor for tomorrow's pre-trial conference has been changed. Recently, you've taken on a criminal case where the defendant, U11, was accused of illegal fundraising. According to your investigation, the truth is that her husband used her ID card to commit criminal activities. She had been unaware of this fact, but the Procuratorate disapproves of it and insists on filing a lawsuit. After several discussions with her, you all decide to go for a not guilty defense.
仕事のことか？
Seeing you lost in thought, Artem asked curiously. Yes, the Procuratorate notified me that they're changing the prosecutor for this case.
判決前調査の直前に担当が変わるのか？
Yeah, this is my first time encountering something like this. Something similar has happened before, but it's new to you, so it makes you feel a little nervous. Moreover, this case has attracted considerable media attention as tens of thousands of people were deceived out of their life savings. As one of the defense attorneys in this case, you are inevitably affected by the pressure from public opinion. Just as you're feeling trouble about it, Artem puts down the dinner plate in his hand and walks over to look at you.
そう緊張することはない。落ち着きなさい。君なら大丈夫さ。
I'm just a bit worried that I'll have to deal with an unfamiliar prosecutor.
確かに、相手によってやり方は変えるものだが、さすがに直前の交代は予想できないからな。
Yeah, I used to plan my defense strategies based on the prosecutors, but now, with less than 2 weeks until the formal court hearing, I wonder if there's enough time to change my strategy.
次の検察官は誰が？
I'm not sure yet. The specific candidates should be formally notified via email. Artem nods thoughtfully.
すでにある証拠をもとに弁護するのに違いはないから、大きな差が出ることはないだろう。検察官が変わったからといって、方針を大きく変える必要はなく、相手を見て微調整すればいい。 明日の判決前調査では、検察から圧力をかけられるだろうが、単に立場が異なるだけだ。弁護士として大切なのは、証拠に基づいて、依頼人のための最善の解決策を考えることだからな。
As you watch Artem seriously analyze the situation, the anxiety you felt about changing prosecutors gradually disappears. Since it has already happened, the best way is to quickly get your mindset right and face it head on. If only I knew what cards they were going to play.
私にも似たような経験がある。参考になればいいが、言葉で説明するより、実際に練習してみる方が効果的だろ
Practice? Don't tell me you're going to play the role of prosecutor and simulate a pre-trial conference. Artem nods with a smile, but unfortunately he can't go into details now as it's almost time for him to head out. He is currently leading a business negotiation with a rookie, and the workload turned out to be much bigger than expected, so he often has to do fieldwork to finalize the details. We've been talking about me all this time. How's your negotiation going? He freezes for a moment, a hint of resignation flashing across his face.
う。おおむね順調と言える。細かな部分で手間取っているが、心配はいらないさ。
Some details?
さっきの練習の件だが、私が戻ってから話せるだろうか。
Before you can think it through, Artem has already changed the subject. Although you want to say that you're fine even without practice, since these are things you will inevitably face in your career, but it would be ungrateful to turn down his thoughtfulness. Alright, see you tonight. Don't forget to eat.
君も。
Autumn stands up and tidies a bit but doesn't immediately pick up his bag to leave when he reaches the door. He turns around and you see a glimmer of anticipation in his sincere eyes. You realize it's been a while since you last went out separately.
何の挨拶もないのは。
Before he can finish, you stand on your tiptoes and give him a warm hug. You look up from his embrace and meet his smiling eyes. How's this?
言いたいことができた。
He lowers his head, pressing his forehead against yours.
君に抱きしめられて、違うことを考えているんだ。朝方は嬉しかったが、今はどうにも寂しい。
Time ticks by and you gently nuzzle his forehead before reluctantly letting him go. I feel the same way. Be safe.
ああ、行ってくる。
Law firm. Not long after arriving at the law firm, you received the official email notification about the change of prosecutor in your 11th case. Victor Liam. A legendary name in the legal world. Artem is an attorney with an extremely high win rate, and Victor Liam is on par with him as a prosecutor. He is steady and methodical in the courtroom, taking each step with careful precision until he corners his opponent to desperation. Moreover, he has keen abilities of observation and is skilled at handling a variety of opponents in different ways. It was around your sophomore year when he was transferred to the Capital Procuratorate, so you have never encountered him in court. By all accounts, you're at a disadvantage. A new opponent means unknown strategies, especially when it's a seasoned prosecutor. This feels unusually tough, but I can't give up now. I should use the upcoming pre-trial conference to gather some useful info. Then I can use this to come up with a strategy. After establishing your basic strategy, you start anticipating the questions he might raise at tomorrow's pre-trial conference. Before you know it, you have organized dozens of pages of info related to this case on your computer. You reach for your glass to take a sip of water and rest for a bit, only to find that it has already been emptied out for some time ago. Pantry. While getting some water, you glance at your phone screen. It's almost time to get off work, but there are no messages from Artem. You can't help but think about his work. Although he said the overall negotiations are going smoothly, you rarely see him going out for field work this early, and sometimes he even has to stay up late dealing with documents. I wonder how he's doing. Just as the cup is almost full and you're about to close the water outlet, someone has already pressed the stop button.
ぼんやりして何を考えていたんだ？
Why did you come back to the law firm? I thought you'd go straight home. He picks up your cup and pours out some of the water that is threatening to overflow before handing it to you.
今日は早めに終わったんだ。会社に戻ればちょうど退勤時間と重なるのに気づいて、君に早く会いたくなった。迎えに行って一緒に帰ろうと思ってな。
Perhaps touched by his answer, you hold the cup in one hand and hook his finger with the other. How was your day? Just like in the morning, Artem doesn't answer right away, but takes a moment to think before speaking.
もちろん。ただ、これからは忙しくなりそうだ。だから、朝に話した練習のことなら、今日中に済ませておきたい。
No need to rush. He shakes his head with a smile and lifts his hand to check the time.
退勤の時間だな。
先輩、もしよければ一緒に。
Kiki rushes over with her backpack but falls silent the moment she sees Artem.
あれ、左京先生、今日は外勤ではなかったんですか？
Seeing Kiki come over, Artem instinctively composes his expression.
ああ、早く終わったから事務所に戻ることにしたんだ。
早く？
She lowers her head in doubt to confirm the time.
もう退勤の時間になりましたけど。
Kiki, why did you say you were taking me?
いえ、先輩が橋本警察官のことで悩んでるようでしたので、仕事終わりに美味しいものを食べたら元気が出るかと思ったんですよ。
Kiki seems even more anxious than you when she finds out that the prosecutor responsible for Yuri Levin's case is Victor Liam.
でも、もう安心ですね。なんといっても左京先生が帰ってこられたんですから。お疲れ様でした。お先に失礼します。
Okay, bye. After Kiki leaves, Artem turns to look at you.
私たちも帰ろうか。
Inside the car. The car drives out of the law firm's underground parking lot, steadily heading toward home along bright street lights. Just after crossing the first traffic light, you receive a hasty message from Kiki. Oh, I just remembered. Mr. Wing has dealt with Prosecutor Lin before. With his guidance, you'll definitely be fine.
まだ判決前調査のことを気にしているのか？
While waiting at the traffic light, Artem turns to hold your hand with his warm palm.
さっき穂塚が言っていた橋本検察官とは？
It's Prosecutor Victor Liam, who is transferred back from the capital. You look at Artem and seeing his surprised expression, you feel a bit puzzled about Kiki's message. Alright, have you dealt with him before? As if recalling something, Autumn hesitates for a moment before speaking.
ずいぶん昔のことになるな。初めて彼と会ったのは、私がまだ法学部に通っていた頃のことだ。学生代表として検察庁を見学し、彼の講座を聴講した。
He speaks as if it's just something ordinary, but as a fellow law student, you know well that only the city's top students are entitled to visit. What happened after that?
橋本検察官がとある事件に言及した際、共犯者の量刑について彼と見解をことにして、反対意見を言ったはいいが、時間が足りなくてな。講座が終わった後も1時間以上議論を交わしていた。気がつけば日が暮れていて、意見こそ食い違ったものの、とてもいい学びになったんだ。
Looks like you think highly of him.
ああ。彼は非常に公正な検察官だ。検察官と弁護士、法律に最も精通する者たちは、様々な刑事事件を前に対立することになるだろう。だが、両者は表裏一体の存在でもある。時には同じ信念を抱きながら、相手を打ち負かそうと努力している。
You note in agreement, these two professions are naturally rivals, yet they share a common objective. Both prosecutors and attorneys hope that the innocent won't be wrongly accused while the guilty shall receive their due punishment. From Prosecutor Liam's past experiences, you can glimpse the principles behind his actions and conduct.
我々の立場がどうあれ、判決前調査も裁判も、すべては証拠によって進められる。だから、思う存分戦えばいい。きっと、多くのものを得られるはずだ。
You can't help but worry about facing Prosecutor Liam, but deep down you feel a sense of excitement. Arthur must have felt the same way when he faced opponents far more experienced than himself in court by then. As the traffic light turns from red to green, Artem focuses on driving while your thoughts gradually become clearer along the path ahead. Before you know it, you no longer feel anxious about facing your opponent. Study. You order dinner from a restaurant you both like as takeout to make time for a mock pre-trial conference with Artem. After the dinner, you briefly explain the case to Artem, who takes notes in his notebook while occasionally asking questions. Is there anything else?
いや、これで十分に分かった。橋本検察官がどんな方針なのかは前に考えたことがある。だから、どんな質問をしてくるのか、ある程度は推測できるが。
He frowns, his expression somewhat troubled. Just what?
いや、私の対応が厳しく見えるのではないかと思ってな。立場が異なるものとして対峙する以上、君が。
That explains your furrowed brow.
私がそんな顔を？
You nod earnestly. Don't worry about me at a time like this. Just do what you think is best. After all, I did my preparation. And I'm really looking forward to my very own version of prosecutoring. After hearing that, Artem seems to be much more at ease.
わかった。最後に確認する時間は必要だろうか。
I've been preparing for this for a long time. According to the rules of the Stylish pre-trial conference, although there are many attendees, it is mainly a confrontation between the prosecutor and attorneys. For a prosecutor, the most ideal scenario is to have the defendant sign a plea agreement during the pre-trial conference. So you guess Artem would also focus on this point. The courthouse conference room is about the same size as a study at home. There is no need to change the setup, and you can just speak as usual. However, you must not let your guard down because of this casual atmosphere.
では、先生、始めようか。
As he sees that his usually gentleness has turned cold and unfamiliar. Sure. The documents in front of Artem rustle as he flips through them. Even though he hasn't said anything yet, you've already felt an overwhelming pressure.
夫の和也さんと生活していた山中さんが、本当に彼の出資詐欺について何も知らなかったのでしょうか。
He looks at you with a composed expression, which reflects his confidence in being in control of the situation. You've prepared for this long ago, rehearsed it countless times in your mind until the answer flows effortlessly. They had been separated for 3 years, and his illegal fundraising started 2 years ago, so it's reasonable that she was unaware of it. As you say this, you present the relevant evidence. This isn't classified information, anyone can find it with a quick search.
本当に？
Artem takes a step closer to you, his shadow falling over you.
被告人の言葉に嘘偽りはなく、決定的な証拠は出てこないと本当に言い切れますか？
What do you mean? In response to your question, Artem's lips curve into a smile as he steps back to his original position.
先生、質問する先を間違っているのでは？
Based on her previous statement, due to her husband's violent tendencies, she had been living at her parents' home for years and would never willingly hand over her ID card. According to witness testimonies, her husband was mostly alone when opening the accounts and even lied about his wife being paralyzed and unable to move. All these pieces of evidence suggest that U11 was telling the truth. Could it be that Artem is deliberately creating confusion? Indeed, I don't need your reminder. If you have a different opinion, please submit evidence to the court. Artem doesn't continue with that topic and quickly brings up another one. After several exchanges, he finally gets to the core of this pre-trial conference. He casually glances at the documents and then turns to you with his confident gaze.
先生、いずれにしても裁判に出るのは賢明な選択ではないと思いますね。彼女が罪を認めて罰を受けるのであれば、我々は裁判所に寛大な判決を求めます。現在の罪状では最長で9年間服役することになる。山中さんには中学生の娘がいるので、出所する頃には大学を卒業しているでしょう。大切なお子さんの成長を見られなくなりますよ。
What if she chooses to plead guilty? Arthur smiles like a hunter watching the prey step by step into the trap he had dug up.
刑期を5年まで短縮できるはずです。2人にとって貴重な時間なのでは？
9 years versus 5 years. Those 4 years of difference can feel like an eternity to a child going through puberty. Artem is still holding on to his earlier diversion. He first hints that new evidence might emerge which could sway the trial's outcome. Then he makes his main goal clear: to have your client U11 plead guilty directly, thus avoiding the trial process. Artem's imitation is spot on. He perfectly captures the essence of Prosecutor Liam's style. At this stage, you can't show even a hint of hesitation or uncertainty, or he'll find your weakness and keep attacking it. You met Artem's case and voice your objection. Disagree with your argument, prosecutor. My client is innocent. She has no reason to, nor should she leave her daughter. Seeing that you're not affected, Artem doesn't get too caught up in this topic.
そうですか。では一旦この件は置いておきましょ
As he speaks, he taps on the keyboard and the PowerPoint presentation that he had prepared pops up on the screen. Most of the info is related to Urileva's illegal fundraising case, or more specifically, info about the victims.
う。この資料と写真は先生も見覚えがありますね。この投資詐欺に多くの市民が巻き込まれ、それまでの貯蓄が一夜にして水泡に帰した。被告人に全く責任がないと言えるのですか？
Their situation is really something to feel sorry for, but she is also a victim in this case. Artem lets out a scornful laugh as if he has just heard the most ridiculous thing.
楽観的すぎるのでは？この状況下で世論が認めて人々は信じると思いますか？
He silently stares at you, your weightless standoff like a calm lake surface rapidly freezing over in the cold. You know that overwhelming public opinion can indeed affect people's judgment, but the law believes in evidence. You know you have to break through the unfavorable situation he set up, so you raise your hand, firmly standing your ground. I know public opinion is against us right now, and people want harsh punishment for those who commit illegal fundraising. And because of her identity, it's easy to arouse suspicion no matter what she insists on. However, you take a deep breath. The study is so quiet at night that you can clearly hear the tick-tock of the clock. In this case, I believe the prosecutor's sentencing recommendation is unreasonable, as all evidence indicates that she is also a victim. I know prosecutors will severely punish every criminal, but my responsibility is to protect every innocent person from being wrongly accused. Therefore, in this matter, I will stand my ground and stand together with my client. You unconsciously clench your hands, staring at Artem's cool expression. You are wondering what difficult question he would ask next, but his cool expression gradually softens, and he returns to the Artem you know so well, gazing at you with a gentle smile.
明日はその勢いで橋本検察官と向き合うといい。
Study. After hearing his approval, you finally begin to relax. He stands up with you and leans against the desk, watching the warm winter sunlight outside the window. The tense atmosphere just now has dissipated, and the quiet after the tension seems somewhat warm. I feel more confident now. After the confrontation with Artem, you found the right feel for tomorrow's pre-trial conference.
そう緊張しなくてもいい。明日は双方の合意を得る場ではないのだから。検察官が追及する筋道と重視している問題点を突き止めることができれば成功と言っていいだろう。
Understood. Thanks for your kind guidance, Prosecutor Artem. You smile and tease him as you glance over the basic negotiation documents that Artem has placed on the desk. Normally, this document should have been prepared by the assistant. Why is Artem still dealing with this? You look at Artem, who is ready to get to work. Is there anything I can help with regarding your recent negotiations? Seemingly not expecting you to ask about his work, Artem shows a helpless expression.
心配をかけてしまったな。交渉自体はさして難しいものではない。ただ、内容が多岐にわたり、いろいろと煩雑なんだ。
You listen to Artem quietly without interrupting him.
そうした忙しい時に、業務に不慣れな新入社員はミスを繰り返していて、それに、
The law firm has been really busy lately, with almost every attorney handling one or two cases. Only Artem has the capacity to mentor newcomers, but from what you remember, he never mentored any campus recruits other than you. And what?
どうも私を怖がっていて、うまくコミュニケーションが取れていない。だから、簡単な文書でも、私が直接目を通さなければならない。
Do you really need to review every time? Well, let's slow down the negotiations. If he always drags things down, I bet he must be feeling frustrated. Artem looks so helpless, clearly troubled by the situation. You turn around to face him, placing both hands on his shoulders. It's normal for newcomers to make mistakes. Don't be discouraged, Mr. Wing. Hearing that, Artem looks at you and can't help but laugh.
なら、そんな新人が早く馴染む方法はあるのか？
Let me think. When mentoring newcomers, the key is to teach according to their abilities. Everyone has their own personality. Teaching based on their traits will definitely be more efficient. Come to think of it, you were the one who guided me during my first week on the job. After joining Tamis as a campus recruit, you were originally supposed to be mentored by Celestine. But she had to go on a business trip at the time, so she entrusted you to Artem, and you recall what happened back then. You were known to everyone as a workaholic, Mr. Wing. I was worried about holding you back, so I've been nervous since morning.
あの時、プレッシャーを感じさせてしまったのか。
Even though you are talking about something that happened long ago, Artem still reflects on it immediately. It's not pressure, but rather a natural nervousness that came from working with such an excellent senior. Perhaps this new graduate hire is also trying to gain your approval, but it ends up backfiring.
もう一度話し合ってみるとしよ
I know you can definitely handle it, Mr. Wing. Artem smiles as he takes your wrist and gently pulls your hand away from his shoulder.
う。ありがとう。
Time silently flies past 11 p.m. and the night is even darker than before. He walks to the window, locks it, and turns to face you.
今日はお疲れ様。お風呂に入って休もうか。
Okay. Bedroom. The next morning, Artem leaves earlier than before. As soon as you wake up, he is already well dressed, sitting by the bed.
起こしてしまっただろうか。
Are you heading out? As you both ask the same time, you sit up kind of dazed, grab his shirt, and lean on his shoulder.
そのつもりだ。それから、今日は帰りが遅くなる。仕事が一段落ついたら、新人と話をしようと思ってな。
He checks the time as he speaks.
仕事までまだ時間があるだろう。もう少し寝るといい。
No, I need to get up early too to prepare for the pre-trial conference. There are some details I still need to double check. You sit up straight, your drowsiness completely gone.
わかった。無理はしないでくれ。
Artem turns his head and softly kisses your forehead as a goodbye. Before the warmth of this kiss fades away, Artem's footsteps are already growing distant. You head to the courtroom to attend the pre-trial conference on time. Just like when practicing with Artem, Prosecutor Liam asked many sharp questions. However, after several rounds of confrontation, seeing that you wouldn't back down, he stops insisting and moves on to confirm other details. Although you haven't reached an agreement in the end, you gain a lot by understanding his personality and his approach to the prosecution. After the pre-trial conference, you decide to visit Urine Levin first. She wasn't present this time, but as the person involved, she has the right to know all the options before her. Outside the courthouse.
弁護士先生、あなたはテミス法律事務所の弁護士でしたか？確か名刺にそう書いてあったでしょ？
Just as you are about to go down the stairs, Prosecutor Liam comes striding over with a document bag. His expression is much gentler than in the conference room, like that of a kind elder. Yes, I had heard of you before we met.
意固地で意地の悪い年寄りだと評判ですかな。
The two of you walk down the steps together and your tone is more relaxed than before. No, I've only heard that you are a very upright person.
久しぶりにステラ市に戻りました。若手の弁護士は世代交代しているようですが、それに比べてうちは相変わらずの顔ぶれで、どうも新人が足りませんね。
He sighs deeply. You can tell he is really worried about the prosecutor's team.
前にも有望な若手を検察官にならないかと誘いましたが、断られてしまいました。彼もテミスで、今はパートナー弁護士のはずです。
Upon hearing his description, Artem's figure flashes through your mind. However, before you can confirm anything, you have already reached the end of the stairs, and he stops first.
あなたと話ができてよかった。ですが、ここまでにしましょう。次に会うのは法廷になりますから。
You know what he really means is that he won't hold back at all. I'll give it my all. Since Yuri Levin is detained on suspicion of illegal fundraising, she has been held in the detention center. Every time you visit her, she asks about her daughter's situation, worried that her case might affect the child's studies. You relay the details of the pre-trial conference to her, and hearing about the different sentences for pleading guilty or not, she can't help but waver. That's the situation. We still have some time before the court hearing. If you have any other thoughts, feel free to let me know.
弁護士先生、私は。
Through the glass, her hands tighten slightly as she leans forward, as if about to make an important decision. Say whatever's on your mind. I'm your defense attorney, so you don't need to go back.
やっぱり身に覚えのないことはやってないとしか言えません。自分がやってないのに刑務所に入るなんてありえないでしょ。そんな世の中では子供に何を教えればいいのかわからなくなってしまいます。
You had already discussed this with her when the pre-trial conference date was set, and she had the same conclusion at that time. I understand. I'll continue to work toward proving your innocence in the upcoming trial.
ありがとうございます。今もいろいろとご苦労なさっているんですよね。
Hmm?
テレビを見せてもらえたんです。被害者の方々が私をどんな風に非難しても仕方ないことだと思いますが、あなたのことを詐欺師に手を貸す悪徳弁護士だと、私を助けるためにそんな悪評が立つなんて。まだお若いのに私のせいで将来に影響があったら。
Seeing her getting more and more frustrated as she speaks, you quickly stop her. Don't overthink it. Right now, you just need to believe in the fairness of the law. It won't let criminals escape justice, nor will it let the innocent be wrong. Yuri 11 sobs and squeezes out a few words.
先生、本当にありがとうございます。
You're welcome. I'll come back later to discuss the trial strategy with you. Home. After a busy day, as soon as you open the home door, you hear the sound of keyboard typing. Is Artem home early?
おかえり。夕食は注文しておいたんだ。もうすぐ届くだろう。
Before you can change your shoes, Artem stands up and walks over to you. He takes your scarf and hangs it on the rack. Walking side by side with him, you have an illusion that you two are heading home together after work. Didn't you say you'd be back later? You remember that he mentioned this morning before leaving that he needed to talk with the new assistant after work.
思ったより早く話がついてな。そのまま帰ってきた。
Looks like today's communication went smoothly. Artem nods.
話を聞いてみれば、学校を首席で卒業していて、完璧主義者だったらしい。だが、学業と仕事は勝手が違う。そのためにうまくいかないことが増えたようだ。
So, as a result, he put too much pressure on himself, and the more he tried to do well, the worse he ended up doing, right?
そうだな。
So, how did you help him feel better afterward? He looks at your expectant eyes and smiles helplessly.
特別なことは何もしていない。私自身の話をしただけだ。誰にでも慌てる時があるし、むやみに焦る必要はなく、常に完璧であろうとしなくていいと伝えた。
Artem bends down and helps you put your messy shoes back on the shoe rack. With Mr. Wing's personal guidance, he must feel deeply honored.
嬉しい。
Artem ponders for a moment.
確かに驚いてはいたな。私のコーヒーをこぼして服を濡らしてしまい、しきりに謝ってきた。
He describes so vividly that you could almost see it, which makes you laugh a lot.
それで吹っ切れたのか、彼も気が楽になったようだ。今後はいろいろと変わっていけるだろう。
He is all serious while analyzing, and his tone sounds relieved as if he has just tackled a tough problem. Congratulations on achieving your objective, Mr. Wing. But I'm curious, which thing did you tell him about? Realizing you are teasing him, he turns his head closer to your ear, his warm breath lingering on your neck.
君には秘密にしておこう。時間をかけて見つけるといい。
The rising romantic feeling is interrupted by the crisp sound of the doorbell.
宅配が来たようだ。私が取ってくる。
After dinner, you two return to the study and start organizing documents face to face. You have to take the unfinished work home and continue it. During the break, you suddenly remember what Prosecutor Liam said outside the courthouse. He is also from Tammy's law firm, and I think he's even a partner there. You look up at Artem, who is still focused on reviewing the negotiation documents.
私を見つめていても、整理する書類は減らないだろう。
A voice trying really hard not to laugh comes from the other side. Why are you spacing out? Artem stops what he is doing and looks up at you.
先に見ていたのは君の方じゃないか。
thought Mr. Wing would make up such a fallacious argument. He smiles as he pushes back his chair and stands up, walking over to you.
どれだけ残っているんだ？手伝った方がいいだろうか。
No, I've already got it mostly sorted out. I just remembered something.
なんだ？
Didn't Prosecutor Liam want you to transfer to become a prosecutor before? Artem is taken aback for a moment and thinks for a moment before nodding.
確かに、そんなことがあったな。裁判が終わった後、彼と一緒に裁判所を出て、その場で検察官になるつもりはないかと聞かれた。
Such a straightforward headhunting approach.
私も驚いたが、当時はすぐに断るのも失礼かと思って、どうするべきか悩んでいた。
You rest your chin on your hand as you look at Artem. Actually, it's not uncommon for prosecutors and attorneys to switch careers. But he seems to have never considered the second path. Have you always been determined to become an attorney since you were very young?
他の道を考えたことがないと言った方がいいだろうな。検察官は非常に尊敬される仕事だが、周りの影響を受けたのか、気づけば弁護士という職業に惹かれていた。
Perhaps there are many people in the world who keep looking for a career they can commit to for a lifetime. Artem is one of the few who knew the answer early on. Throughout his life, he has worked tirelessly towards this goal and achieved remarkable success. Just as you are feeling both happy for and envious of him, Artem leans down to meet your gaze.
だからこそ、こうして君と出会えた。
Indeed, if he hadn't chosen this path early on and kept walking down to it, you might never have met at that destined moment. I'm glad you've always been here. Home. Finally, the day of the trial has arrived. After submitting all the evidence, you double-check the document copies and only start changing your clothes after ensuring that the evidence and witnesses are in place.
最後の交渉が残っているから、傍聴には行けないと思う。
No worries, just focus on what you need to do. Since you are going to court today, you take out the attorney's badge and are about to pin it to your lapel.
待ってくれ。
Hmm? As you stare at him in surprise, his slender fingers take the badge from your hand.
手伝わせてくれないか？
His fingertips gently caress the badge as he lowers his head to find a suitable spot to wear it.
前にも似たようなことがあったな。
You know that Artem is talking about when he went to give a lecture at the university. After a public opinion crisis, you helped Artem straighten his clothes before he went on stage. It was around the same spot where you clipped the tie clip you gave him onto his tie. That time I was the one who helped you. You watch Artem, his eyes super focused, carefully pin the badge onto your lapel. But suddenly you hear him chuckling softly. What is it? Artem looks up at you, his bright eyes so close that you can clearly see your own reflection in them.
いや、別のことを思い出したんだ。君と初めて仕事をしたとき、君は給湯室でバッジをつけようとしていた。
I don't remember at all.
朝に慌てて出たのか、バッジがずれていたんだ。
You still remember such a small detail.
多分、あの頃の私には付け直す資格がなかったから。給湯室の外で君の準備が終わるまで待つしかなかった。
This is Artem's unique gentleness. He maintains proper boundaries as a colleague while offering quiet encouragement from just the right distance. Though I may be a bit restless, thankfully we've always worked together in perfect sync.
だが、財前が戻ってきた後は、君をそばに置いておく理由がなくなってしまった。君が正社員になり、やっとパートナーになって、そして、
Artem pauses for a moment in distraction, and you hold his hand that is still helping you pin the badge. Your shadows rarely draw closer in the morning light, just like your journey together so far. The more you understand each other, the closer you two become. Time has passed so quickly. Sometimes you remember how unprepared you were when first joining the law firm. You also remember Artem, who was always quietly watching over and supporting you from ahead. At some point, you find yourself wanting to catch up with him as soon as possible. Fortunately, you two walk the same path, so you don't have to worry about taking wrong turns. Just keep moving forward and you'll be there. And now, we walk side by side. You say what he hasn't said, and he nods with a smile. Your badge already pinned in place.
そうだな。これからも、こんな風に歩いていくんだろう。
Your silver badge shines dazzlingly in natural light, perfectly matching the senior attorney's badge on his coat. At that moment, your alarms go off simultaneously, reminding you to leave. For the first time in many days, you can finally head out together. However, since your destinations are different, you have to go separate ways after leaving. But when everything is over, you two will still return to the same place.
そろそろ出ようか。
Yes. Outside the courthouse. After hours of trial, the judge finally acquits Yuri Levin and releases her. After handling the follow-up matters, you take her and her daughter, who has taken a leave to attend the court hearing, to the entrance of the courthouse.
弁護士先生、本当にありがとうございました。
I just did what I was supposed to do. The court may summon you again to testify regarding Henry Thompson's illegal fundraising case.
ええ、その時は必ず協力いたします。
Well then, I wish you both happiness in your new life. After seeing them off, Prosecutor Liam comes out standing in the same spot as last time. However, he doesn't seem to have any plans to walk with you today. He just smiles while congratulating you.
弁護士先生、法廷でのご活躍は素晴らしいものでした。
Thank you. I've learned a lot from you as well, Prosecutor Liam.
検察官に転職するつもりはありませんか？より教えられることも増えるでしょう。
His sudden invitation leaves you frozen in place. That was way too sudden. No wonder it scared Artem back then. You take 2 deep breaths to calm yourself down and then say the answer you've already decided on. Thank you for the invitation, but I really love being an attorney. I've decided to dedicate my life to becoming an outstanding attorney.
同じような答えをもらったことがありますね。どうも私はスカウトに向いていないようです。
He gives a self-deprecating smile. His colleague comes over to ask him to return to discuss some matters, and after nodding, he turns to you.
時間があればまた話をしてくださいますか？
Okay. You finally have time to take out your phone and turn off the do not disturb mode, but there are still no messages from Artem. I wonder if he's done over there. Maybe I should send him a message. Just as you are about to send a message, you catch a glimpse of Artem leaning against the fountain in front of the courthouse, his head lowered. A moment later, you receive his message. He's trailed over and waiting for you by the fountain outside the courthouse. Texting back is way too slow, so you decide to just call him. At that moment, as if sensing something, Artem also looks up and sees you, but the call has already connected. It's like today's negotiations went smoothly.
そうだな。あの日に話してから、新人の彼もうまくやっている。仕事の要領を得たんだろう。交渉が早めに終わったから、半日休暇を取らせて、休ませることにしたんだ。
Step by step, you move closer until you could hear each other better than the audio in your ears. The golden sunset shines on Artem, enveloping him in a soft halo of light. At that very moment, the once quiet fountain bursts forth, its crisp sprays of water seeming to cheer in celebration. And the person before you, as if by magic, pulls out a bouquet of vibrant flowers from behind and hands it to you. A sweet fragrance wafts from the half-bloomed petals, filling the air around your nose. Before you know it, snowflakes begin to dance in the twilight, adding a touch of warmth to the otherwise solemn streets.
勝訴、おめでとう。
Artem looks down at you with his smiling eyes, while his ears are a bit red from being out in the cold. Did you know I would win?
練習した時から分かっていた。想定内の結果だ。
He speaks with such certainty as if stating a truth that everyone knows. I was actually not as composed as you might think. Prosecutor Liam was incredible. He kept pressing me in court and I was driven into a corner several times. You did win the case, but you know there are lots of things that could have been better and needed more care. Artem holds your hand as snowflakes swirl gently around you. Then melts away and disappear as soon as they get close to your body heads.
すべての裁判は戦いだ。私たちは依頼人の希望を背負っていて、勝訴は一つの結果に過ぎず、その過程にある苦労を本当に理解できるのは自分自身の他にいない。
He proudly expressed how you've been feeling all this time. As someone walking the same path as you, he understands your dedication better than anyone else. This is probably what sets you apart from other couples, because you're moving forward toward the same objective. So he clearly understands the pressure you faced during the process and how great it felt to win. That's not quite right. It's not that no one understands. Perhaps because he sees you two as one, Artem seems to have forgotten that he's the one who understands you the most. You hold onto Artem's arm and stand on your tiptoes to get closer to him. As someone who's been through it yourself, don't you know better than anyone what I'll have to face in court? I'm glad that my hard work and dedication resonate with you. You must have felt my nervousness when Prosecutor Liam extended that invitation to me.
やはり君も聞かれたのか。どうやら彼は勝訴した弁護士に必ず声をかけているらしい。
No wonder he didn't seem surprised when I turned him down.
彼なりの応援のやり方なのかもしれないな。
Yes, I feel the same way. Walking this path together, you two sometimes share similar experiences. Sharing these little moments gives you such a wonderful feeling. It's like walking on a pure white snowland where you can clearly see your footprints gradually overlapping with each other. The snow is getting heavy enough to leave traces on your hair. You wrap your arm around Artem's as you stand side by side. The snow's getting heavy, let's go home. I definitely need to have a feast today. After all, there's more than one thing worth celebrating.
何かあっただろうか。
He stares at you in surprise, completely forgetting that he had just accomplished something himself. What's about you finishing the negotiation and the new assistant growing? All our efforts lately have paid off. Hearing your answer, Arthur smiles and gently brushes away the snowflakes on your bangs.
確かに、めでたいことだな。食べたいものはあるか？
Let me think. You and him walk along the illuminated central business district before it gets really cold, while the snowflakes gently fall on the dim path ahead. There's no need to panic or hesitate. No matter how difficult the path ahead may be, as long as you two are together, you'll reach a happy ending.
こっちは仕事が終わって、今から帰宅だ。君は、まだ事務所か？残業なのか？臨時の仕事なら、私も事務所に戻る。二人で整理した方が早いからな。ついでに、君の好きなものも買っていく。空腹は良くないし。こうしていると、思い出してしまうな。共に仕事を始めた頃、急に大量の資料が提出され、一人で整理するつもりでいたが、見かねた君は手伝うと言ってくれて、そのおかげで徹夜をせずに済んだ。退勤後に家まで送ろうとしたが、夕食もまだだったから、事務所近くの店に二人で食べに行っただろ？その後君は車内で眠ってしまった。もう家の前に着いたのによく眠っていてな。起こさないように本を読んで待っていた。そうだ。君は雨音で目を覚まし、ぼんやりと何時か聞いて。まったく、こんなことまで覚えているとは。あの頃の仕事を振り返ると、私には遠い昔のようだが、実際のところ、パートナーとして歩んで数年しか経っていない。それでも大切な思い出は多い。これは同僚兼恋人の特権というものだろう。と話し込んでしまったな。混雑する前に夕食を買っておく。ではまた後で。